Yo. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's gonna really be the first of all? No, not me. I write my own lyrics and I make my own beats, yeah, and I tell you that's peace. I don't ever go to work, I just go and take a seat, then write another hook in my MacBook.
All right, everybody, what's going on? I am the one, the only, the W-O-O-K-I-E, joined here by the usual cast of degenerate misfits. We have the elf from the South Southerly Elf.
Ahoy.
The Ewokiest of Ewoks, Ewok Jr.
Hello, Keyforge community. Glad to be here.
The grumpiest PhD you've ever met, Dr. Sheet.
I'm not special.
Yep. And the one and only Choke Show.
I am special.
My mom told me so. Buckets of stuff. We had 6 articles in the span of 6 days. That's an article a day, boys.
It's like Jeremy woke up or something.
6 articles that should have been 1 article. These are all written by Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
That's why.
Hey. We
Or at
have
least
articles.
posted
This
by
is
Josh.
someone posted
Oh,
by
this is a
Josh,
good thing.
one
I
posted
agree.
by Michael. Honestly, this is back to where GG was early on with communication. I love to see it. So no complaints there, Sheepo. No complaints.
All right.
You
But-
forgive way too easily.
We are going to...
This is good. This is good news, man, and you're going to
Oh.
hear that again and again. So I like it. We got a lot of good news this week. So it's
Well-
at least a 4-hour recording apparently to you guys.
Oh
So
my
we
God.
really should get going.
We are going to go over these articles briefly, and then in future episodes, we will deep dive into some of these and then maybe sprinkle in some other news that comes back. But your voices have been heard. Sealed is returning to the Vault Tour.
Yay.
Well, kinda.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind
But
of.
I'll take it, I guess.
So, going forward, officially Keyforge sealed play format will be well, hold on. Let me just start here. Because we have to define sealed, right? So, experienced Keyforge players know the basics of sealed deck play. A number of unopened Keyforge decks are bought by each player to a tournament. Players open their sealed decks before their first round and select/creates a deck to use in the tournament. Selecting a single whole deck in sealed play has been in the past known as sealed Archon, while using the Alliance deck creation rules has its past known as sealed Alliance. Going forward, official Keyforge sealed play format will be as follows. Players bring between 1 and 3 sealed decks, player's choice, to the tournament. The deck must be from the same Keyforge set, or the decks must be from the same Keyforge set, while the set itself may be designated by the event. After opening the decks, players then decide upon their tournament deck. This is done either by selecting an open deck without modification, or by creating an Alliance deck from the housing pods contained in the open decks. We have made additional adjustments and edits to the sealed format explanation on our tournament format and rules page. This is all now known as, is this correct, unified sealed? Not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like
Unified
new
dislike.
Coke. Yeah, it's like new Coke, right?
How long before we go
know.
back to the old recipe? Because we all know how well...
Oh.
Wait, hold on. How many people in the audience actually know what new Coke is?
What about
you
Coke
gotta
Crystal?
remember
I'm
that
raising my hand.
most
That was
people
Pepsi,
in
right?
Keyforge are
Or
old.
Pepsi Crystal? Yeah, sorry.
Pepsi Crystal is clear. New Coke was
Yeah.
like a whole new formula, and it flopped miserably. And they just went back to the old stuff. So we have before
Well,
stated
they
that...
didn't go back to the original because that did have some
Okay,
other
not
substances
the
in there.
original.
Hey, some of us are old here. We're good.
You go back to the booger
You
sugar
ain't that
days
old,
for real?
Grandpa.
No, you do not.
Hey.
We have before stated the importance of limiting the numbers of official formats to keep organized play focused and to avoid fracturing the player base. You've already... Okay. In addition, we also
Accomplished?
had to consider some real-world limitations, and that supporting 4 high-level tournaments within a 3-day tournament event is not practical
Practical.
for larger
That's true.
tournaments.
No,
This is real.
that I agree with.
We
just
will get
not your
into
chin
that.
gym.
This is why we have made the decision to select a single unified sealed format as the official competitive at the official competitive level, as opposed to running both Archon and Alliance sealed formats. The official sealed format, which was Sealed Alliance in the past, allows those players who wish to field a single unmodified Archon deck to do so, while players who want the agency, there's that word again, of engaging in the deck construction may do just that. As such, we believe the widest number of players are served by this unified format. Where does it go into the structure? Is it the next one?
I would just like to say that Archon and Alliance also allowed you to play single deck sealed if you wanted. So really, you've gained nothing.
Thanks for that, Sheep.
Yeah.
But I gained agency. Agency!
Help me, Draz. Help me.
No, so look, I am excited that Sealed is back. I'm excited that Seal's here. It is, I think I don't know what we call True Sealed. I guess we call it True Sealed.
We call it sealed.
Well, no,
That's
this
sealed.
is Unified Sealed. And
I'm
then
sorry.
there's True Sealed.
I believe we
right?
call it the way. 'Cause
This is the way.
This is
Yes.
the way.
I agree. So I like, hey, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, Alliance Sealed is a horrible format or whatever. It's fine, right? Like I think it's not what I was hoping for, but if it's the way you get Sealed back, I'll take it, and then we'll spend the next year hopefully convincing them that,
Oh, but
True
wait.
Sealed is the way to go.
But wait, Drazcor. There's more.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was said here, but HFFS had a little chat with Michael Hurley.
Yes.
So Sealed will be run on Friday. And I believe finals will wrap up on Saturday.
I wasn't in that.
That's not what was said.
Okay. Where was it said? Was it an article or was it there?
Hasn't been said anywhere.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
a bunch of people saying they heard that from somebody.
Oh,
but that
okay.
has not been officially put out anywhere that I've been made aware of.
Okay.
I probably heard it from Ewok manifesting something.
That's
over
where
there.
I heard it from was Ewok.
Yeah. But,
Because if that was the case, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy that Sealed would just take a dive and be trash because nobody would be able to show up on.
I mean,
plenty of people show up on Friday, right? But
Nope. They show up on Friday, late Friday.
when
Ewok's Office of Disinformation
used
strikes
to
again.
run this as Yeti. This is what Yeti used to run. Like this was, except there wasn't two choices on Saturday. It was Sealed on Friday, and then Archon the next day, or it was Archon on Friday and Sealed on Saturday, right? Whichever way they chose to do it at each one. But this is not.
Wait, hold on.
This
Yeti
was
never
the
did
standard.
that.
Yes,
never.
Yeti did that.
No, they did
That's-
not.
Yes, that is how
Stop
Yeti events
drinking
were
that
at the end.
old Coke.
no, I remember.
Yeti had the main event was
is-
always one thing. They had
Drazcor won his Sealed Vault Tour
Yes.
at a Yeti event where it was Sealed on Friday and Alliance on Saturday, or Archon on
was the
Saturday, or
reverse.
Saturday, Sunday, whichever it was. However
Yeah, it
the
was
hell they did
Archon on Friday and then Sealed on Saturday. That's what it was.
And
because
the-
Sealed was the
yes.
main event.
So they were both
Yeti
tours with the exact same pricing.
Right.
Yeti went ahead and ran back to back as you guys are talking. We had another lead that was there before Yeti, and I think that's what
Cascade was there before Yeti.
Correct.
I've
And
been
Cascade,
I was at Yeti Vault Tours. I went with Sheep to a Yeti Vault
Yes.
tour.
but we've
Yes,
also
there were also Yeti Vaults that were a single event.
correct,
Both
and
did
that
exist.
correct. That's what I need to be able to share is that both existed near the end. Draz, you had went to PAX, and PAX was the 3-day event. That's what we styled live after. But Yeti did run single events too, because
Yeah, they did the 3-day events when they did convention related stuff where people had entry fees on their solo run events. They did singles.
Okay. Well, either way, I can throw that argument out because it doesn't exist anymore. Which I'm
Okay.
happy to hear
Success.
that doesn't exist. That makes me
Yeah, So the unofficial,
excited.
Domino was here talking about this in our chat. So again, if you happen to be live here Thursdays when we record AC Live show, you can jump in and add some comments.
Hold on,
But
we gotta open the liquid death. Are y'all ready?
Oh yeah. Glad you.
Yay! $2
that.
flavored
awesome.
water.
It's sparkling,
Just throw money in the garbo.
but it's liquid death.
That's what we do here.
To refocus us here.
Yep. True.
Josh had come onto our Discord, and that's where it was unofficial kind of talked about a response to OP. And so that's where the discussion had been.
It's bad.
Yeah. But
I mean, like unofficial responses, it's not super, but like the amount of information that
yes, we need one
through unofficials is not good.
Agreed. But sealed is back.
It's not good because it's not coming through me.
But I mean that. So here's where, as content providers, we appreciate that. Like Josh has come on to AC before. That Michael Hurley went on to Help from Future Self. That we've had GG employees come into content creators is helpful, but it does raise some additional questions. The idea that was stated from Michael Hurley that I remember hearing was in regards to will the sealed be on Saturday, and that is it will be Friday.
No,
there is potential. No. They said we're not opening up, but there's potential for it to be able to be there. It was not a statement of it will or it won't.
Yeah,
it
was
set in
just
stone with here is my feet grounded in that this is the only time it's going to be.
That's right. It basically was a no comment, right? That's basically what he said. He said words that were more than that, but basically,
what did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
Something like we haven't made that decision yet, or we're not saying at this point, or something like that, right? Like
this is why it's not even worth talking about because there isn't enough.
The thing that's worth talking about is
because I was with conjecture here. I don't know how many times we have to tell you that we like it here.
But there's some really important information. If we're going ahead and claiming that, hey, we're going to go ahead and have sealed, awesome. First of all, overall, these articles, we need to understand there's really good information. We appreciate this.
Yep.
A lot of positive. And I need to say that again and again. There's some fine details that we want to be able to talk about. That there's still some complaints. One of those was what came through as people were talking about it. The idea that it's sealed alliance, but we're going to just call it sealed unified. Yeah. Like that's a big hit. But I will tell you, as a Keyforge player, I'm just happy that we're playing sealed alliance. We'll call it sealed unified as a formal format, that all three will be at Worlds. That's good news. That's a win for us, and we'll take that win. The idea in the statement, there was a throwaway comment in there that you can play 1, 2, or 3 decks. So you could play a single deck. It's not efficient as competitive.
Advantage, right?
Correct.
Like
and that is, I think, what is missed is that oftentimes we're a competitive podcast. We're going to push for that competition. So the idea that you're going to come in and play just one,
we're not a competitive podcast anymore. We just shit talk for like an hour and a half.
3 hours.
Because there was nothing competitive going on for a while.
Well, this is true.
I'm pretty sure you can competitively shit talk.
Yep, that's where we're at.
So this idea, the idea that I'm going to go ahead and open up one single deck, and maybe that deck is baller. Maybe that deck is straight Archon worthy, and we can take it. We have seen that in some of the sealed, but the ability to go ahead and take 2 or 3, statistically, it is not likely that you're going to take one deck and be successful when you can go ahead and look at all of the decks. Now, I'm a bit concerned, frankly, when we look, it is 1, 2, or 3 decks that are available for this sealed unified. Mm-hmm. I like that they're giving some agency for your local, that, hey, local store, I can go ahead and do one sealed deck.
Let's end right here.
Okay.
Because you're already getting into what one of the biggest arguments going on the internet is unified sealed is, and the way that TRG is written, this is for premier level event stuff. They don't have anything meaningful for store level events written yet, really.
They have included store championships as that one of those premier level events,
and that's
premier
thing.
for a local OP, and that's why people are drawing that conclusion. And right now, you have it open that it can be 1 or 2, and I'm fine with that.
That there isn't clear delineation between this is premier, top level, whatever, and store level stuff is got a lot of people worried because they're like, well, it only says there's one way to play sealed, and now they're afraid people are going to come to the store and be like, well, this is what it said online, how you play sealed, and you guys don't want to do it that way. And that isn't great for consistency, that you can't go to a store and know what to expect. But that's kind of always been true in Keyforge. Like all the time people are talking about, like, you can go to Z store and they're going to play Shredder once a month. And you come to our store and we're playing some kind of weird...
We're playing sealed.
Sometimes sealed, sometimes sealed alliance. Sometimes if you just want to play an Archon deck, we don't care because we're really just there playing Keyforge because we're not playing for anything. And other places are playing SaskCap. Karen in the store in Madison, they're playing crazy swindle-based events all the time. Like there is no real consistency, I feel like, in styles of Keyforge events across the country at a local level.
Because you're not playing. What are you playing for?
Players. Well, there is that, but like it is a thing that there is with Keyforge, but that there is only these 3 things, and single deck sealed, which we all agree is a joke. Single deck sealed when other people are playing 3 deck constructed is
right.
We need to be silly, consistent. But there's talk with
definitely
your locals.
No reason you cannot just at your local store say, hey,
right,
everybody's buying 1 deck and playing it. We can play mixed set because it doesn't matter. Even once there's prizes, probably doesn't matter until they introduce a meaningful leaderboard that leads to something. It doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you're playing Keyforge and people are enjoying it.
Right.
And I agree with what I was talking about. I agree with this 100%. I do not think that they will control us at the local level. They haven't. I don't think it's going to be a problem. But I will tell you, some of the wording and some of the terminology that was there makes it a little bit weird. We're still looking at 1 or 2 decks, I think, for the local. But your local decide, like, take it upon us. We're the community. Go out to your local. What do you guys want to play? What should this group hear? And I say guys, but it's guys and girls, whoever is in your local, who's playing. Talk to them. I don't see that as an issue.
I mean, I like it as a thought as a store representative that every week some people are going to choose to buy 3 decks. I like it. I would like to sell you 3 decks every week. That sounds great. And there are, and you know, the problem is there are certainly some people who can afford to do that, and there's other people who can't. And the fact that the extra money is a significant competitive advantage will ruin locals if they run it that way. Like it'll just ruin them. So
I think that's where the worry is coming from, is people say, I want to go play for my store championship. Now you're telling me I have to buy 3.
Well, I don't think the store championship one having to be 3 is a problem, because that's a once a year event. That's not local weekly play. That's according to what they got is the top level play, and all the store championships that we played in before were either Archon or 3 deck sealed anyways. So that's not really a change.
I see this, but I'm going to tell you there are some people that it is limiting with the amount of money that, again, the increase in decks.
Every game. There are people who can't play $10 Magic drafts. Like, I don't think that is a, like, what's the bottom line? You set the number. What is it? What is the number that everybody can afford and play? There isn't a number that is that. So I don't think that's, like, there is value in that, making it overly expensive, but it is not a number that I think any of us are qualified to determine what is actually a dollar level that'll prevent people from showing up.
I think, Sheep, that you're
to
missing
a store sealed.
I think
or to a store championship, not to a weekly event.
Yeah, I think what you're missing is, again, talk with your locals and be able to go ahead and voice if it is a restriction.
A box to play at our local.
But we
just Infinite Alliance. You could just buy as many AOA decks as you want until you find a pod that.
But our local is different. I'm telling you, even going ahead and meeting with other people.
You're trying to write rules that apply to everybody. That's not how it works, and I don't think the 3 deck thing is out of whack at all.
$40
No,
is not bad to play in a premier level event.
So go ahead and do it once to twice a year, which is what we're looking at because they have a release for each of the two sets.
But what's the problem? Okay, so 3 times a year? You do it once for store championships and once for each release. 3 times a year. That's not a big deal. $40.
Yeah,
you're done.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's not a big deal.
I don't see that as an issue, but I'm telling you, there are individuals in our community that it is impacted.
Nobody is arguing that there are individuals that can't afford it. But what you're saying is like, then we need to make the events free to play, and then it devolves back into, well, how do you make it so everybody can just play one deck? Because that's what Keyforge was, but that's where it devolves back down to when you start trying to limit spending across the board.
I don't say that at all. I think this has gotten way out of whack. I will say that.
Yeah, but if you have a problem,
bottom level?
If you have a problem spending $40 to play in a premier level event, I don't think competitive Keyforge is for you. Just straight up. I don't think that's crazy to say.
Competitive in anything is probably something you're going to realistically be able to participate in.
Yes, but there are a number of individuals of how it's been worded right now, 3 times a year for store champs and your 2 release events.
Why are we thinking there's 3 store champs in a year?
No, 1 for store champs.
One for store champ and 1 for each pre-release. That's a total of 3 events at 40. I think is perfectly fine. But again, what I'm trying to say is talk to your community, because we are a small niche community that if for some reason you are one of those people who's limited, that you can't make it out, talk to people, because there's other people that frankly, hey, I'll pick up, here's the extra deck that's needed, because it's more fun to just have our local group there. That's me, okay? And I know there's a lot of really good people out there. So even while you're scoffing at it in the back, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think that we're going ahead and expecting 3 sealed on a weekly basis. I think that's outrageous. But
I agree.
How it was listed caused some people to get alarmed. I'm trying to qualm that by saying, no, realistically, you're looking at 1 sealed, potentially even do what we do, where here's 2 and you play Alliance for the week. But what we will see is roughly 3 times a year, as I've outlined, you'll see this 3-deck event. Okay, I think that is very appropriate. But if that's a limiting factor for you, talk to people in your community.
Confused, and I think where they're getting confused is they thought every time we run sealed, it's going to have to be 3 decks, and that wasn't the case.
Now,
that's what is written if you were to
sort of what it
play
says,
with their rules. But I don't think
there's nothing preventing you from doing what you want in your locals, right? The thing, so one thing that I want to talk about is the way that Michael put this forward about Sealed Alliance, though. Like, the thing that I thought was really, really surprising was how he said how much people were telling him they wanted Sealed Alliance. So, at like these events. So either one of 2 things is true, right? Either like us, this group here, and the people we talk to at these events, because we go to a lot of these events, like, either we're more insular than I thought and we're not actually talking to as many people as I thought we were, or there's just a complete misunderstanding from Michael as to what the feedback he's getting.
This is the hill they're willing to die on.
Well, but I mean, but like, so wait, you think there's like, no, he gets it that this is not.
Yes, 100%.
Like, he's like, oh, I know.
They know this is not what we want.
But I don't know.
I'm going to disagree. Like, I'm here to disagree.
All right, disagree.
I don't want Sealed Alliance. There are several people that I have communicated with and heard talk to them that Sealed Alliance is one of the things that brought them back to Keyforge or made them interested again. There are a lot of people who there's certainly a lot like it.
But like, I'm talking like ratios, percentages. Do we think it's more?
I think they're more vocal about liking the new thing than those curmudgeons saying we don't like the new thing or we really want our old thing back. I do think the people who really like Sealed Alliance are more vocal about telling them that than the people who are just like, yeah, I'm playing this, but I'd rather have regular Sealed back.
I think people just wanted Sealed.
Got it.
I mean,
right. I think we just said
Sealed Alliance.
Like, I just said Sealed. I didn't specify.
Got it. So when I go to Vault Tour, I need to be more vocal about wanting just regular, good old-fashioned sealed back. Understood.
Also, the one piece of data they have,
Oh gosh.
which,
Yeah.
mind you, this whole group here, I'm
Yeah.
the only person who played actual sealed. Now, I think that had a lot to do with 3 deck versus 1 deck.
Well, and
But
a lot of
that's a thing.
We were bribed to play the new thing, and you wanted to try the new thing.
Well,
I'm
hold
sure when they
on.
made new
Pump
Coke
all
and they
of-
were like, "Hey, do you want to try this new Coke?" The people were like, "I'll try it," but then do they ever buy it again? Right? Like,
guys,
you know,
guys, pump the brakes. You also have to remember that nobody had played Sealed Alliance to that point.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I had, and I already knew it was bad.
I hadn't.
So what I found interesting is the idea that when they put Alliance together, they didn't really realize how popular Sealed Alliance would be. That was a insight that was gained afterwards. That was a really
That was
interesting
interesting.
component to me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was a little surprising.
But
I
let's talk about
actually
what 2024.
Don't hate Sealed Alliance as a top level event. At the point that you're playing a Vault Tour, I think you should have the skills
Yeah.
to be able to play it. It's totally inappropriate for pre-release events. it's totally inappropriate there, I think.
So we
But
all
at
we all
top
agree.
level, a lot.
Yeah,
It's fine.
We all agree that it is inappropriate for when you're releasing a brand new event. I would also say I'm very curious how 3 decks will be versus 2 as we add in 3 new pods. And now you have a total of 9 pods to choose from because, man, some analysis paralysis has happened as we are looking at potential possibilities with 2 deck. So there is only so much time that is
When did
given
you
to
play
you in these
2
vaults.
deck?
We played 2 deck at the original
Sealed Alliance?
KFC.
Yeah.
No, that was
KFC
3.
No, it was 2.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Yep.
I was over there with my 1 deck.
Let's talk about what 2024 OP is going to look like, or at least what we're told it's going to look like. Slideshow, please. In-store play to support regular Keyforge players at LGS. Ghost Galaxy will soon be offering in-store play kits to interested retailers.
Woohoo!
These kits are
That is cool.
intended to facilitate regular in-store play and will contain materials to promote the game as well as prizes and various goodies for players. Get your chain trackers here. Chain trackers here. Get your chain trackers. We will have pre-release events prior to the commercial release of each new Keyforge set. LGS patrons will be able to enjoy a first look via the Keyforge pre-release event. Next one will be Grim Reminders, slotted for February 23rd, 2024.
We have dates. We
dates-
have dates, Cheap.
Dates
What do you
may
think of that?
vary by your LGS.
Now that we can actually sign up for something, it's a little better, but that we don't actually know what we're buying is bad.
You're buying Grim Reminders.
Yay.
I don't understand. What do you not know you're buying? You're buying pre-release kits.
What's in the pre-release kit?
Probably the same thing that was in the last
Some
kit.
2020 chain trackers.
2020, yeah,
We
probably.
don't-
Or some 2019
I would-
chain trackers.
I would very much like to know that because if it's 2020 chain trackers, I am buying 0. If it's something else new and interesting, maybe we get them. I don't know.
You're buying them either way.
I am not.
You
because you pay extra, like for
you are getting no, you don't. It's $40.
I'm actually my store right now isn't even ordering a store championship kit.
really.
Well, I think that is
We don't know
because we have
what's
some of
in
the other.
it. We don't know what's going on with it well enough to make our decisions.
We know most of it. I guess we don't know what the battle tested thing is, and we
No, you again are using unreleased,
Yeah, we're using
legit information that I don't think is the actual kit you're going to get because that kit has nothing to do with supporting 3 formats. 2 of this, 4 of that. 8.
Okay.
I don't think that's the actual store championship kit.
Okay.
Oh, we don't know.
We will talk about store champs next. I will say I'm going to bounce to the newest article that literally released today. Winds of Exchange sold out. And so that is just from GG's printing standpoint. You can still get it from distributors and kind of reach out there. But that actually is important because a lot of people are starting to get their Grim Reminders here, their notice. Sheep? It's Grim Reminders.
Yeah.
Did you get your shipping notice?
Mine delivers tomorrow, folks.
Michael
Tomorrow.
Hurley will be at Sheep Store giving him his grim reminders.
Tomorrow,
No.
I will have a JML MTL sucks deck.
Nice.
Nice.
Is that what you did?
That is what I did.
Nice.
All right.
Now, I say that I have not gotten my shipping notice, but I think that they did a much better job at trying to ship out to Europe and to Asia and to Australia to be able to go ahead and have those earlier. And then they held onto it. I think the idea of telling us wasn't necessarily the best. But right now, if we're all getting it around this period, guys, this is January 18th. Compared to where we were last year, this is phenomenal. And a huge, huge, huge applause to GG for delivering and making sure that we can get it here in January. So if people are starting to get it in January, that is awesome. And I actually think a pre-release event then for Grim Reminders at the end of February it's viable for stores to be able to have that event. Yes. Do we want some more data and some more information as to what's there? Yes. I think that is been consistent with the articles. We'd like a little bit more information. But I like that they gave us a date. We have something to look forward to. And WoW is basically is done. So get your WoW from your stores now while you can, which is, again, where we want to send people to grab more WoW.
All right. 2024 Store Championships. Store Championships form the foundation level of competitive Keyforge play. They are intended as primary tournament events for LGS Keyforge communities. Your LGS will be able to complete signups for Store Championships starting today by navigating to this link. Did anybody open it?
Yeah.
Doesn't lead me to like some weird like Rickrolled page?
No.
No?
We
Okay,
actually pushed this with our retailers to
I know.
try and...
It's a joke.
Yeah, we already went through it.
Just a joke. Just a joke. It swung and missed wildly, but it's just a joke.
You're reading everything verbatim, so
it.
we're used to this. Yeah.
I got it.
Each
It landed
LGS,
perfectly here.
Thank you. Each LGS is expected to run their store championship between March 1st and March 31st. As a player, if you are excited about attending Keyforge Store Championships at your LGS, don't hesitate to let your store know about the
Please
link
mark
above.
it for us.
Please do
but
our
I mean, we are
job.
small, and that's what's there. But if you follow the link, boys, because I think there's a lot more information in that section. Okay, we have store championships between March 1st and the 31st. We can see what it will cost. We do know that $50 US plus shipping. Okay.
Wasn't last time 40? Oh,
Old Store
this is-
Champ kit?
This is
Ooh, I
never
don't
mind.
know.
No.
But I
Never
don't
mind.
remember
Scratch
afterwards.
that. Nope. Store Champ. Don't listen to me. I'm thinking pre-release. I'm on a totally different game plan.
But I think what's really interesting, what's caused quite a bit of discussion, is store championships are base level events that are considered the foundational level of competitive Keyforge organized play. Awesome.
You guys looking at the cartoony Brobnar art they used for this?
No, but
It
keep
just
going.
doesn't feel Keyforge-y. It feels
Wait.
But they're going to consist of 3 tournaments featured the supported Ghost Galaxy official tournaments formats. These formats are Archon, Alliance, and Sealed. That has been the discussion. They're going to consist of 3 tournaments for your
Okay.
store championship.
So what's the problem?
No. That's different. I mean, typically when we
Yeah,
had store championships in the past, it was just here's Archon. And so that is that's
store
a big,
championships. You could have. We ran store.
No.
championships.
you could choose.
Right.
You could choose,
you
but it was
chose
one event.
This
You
is
chose
run all 3.
At
Correct.
the same, but
That's
you can run
different.
them separately.
Yes, that says you can run it across multiple days. Could you imagine, like, our store? We show up and we be like, all right, store championships, all 3 of them today. And I'll be like, I'm going to be sitting over there with Fraud all by myself. Nobody's going to play with me. Sydney's going to be there with some Alliance stack all by herself. And the rest of you are going to be playing Sealed.
Yep. That sounds
All
right.
right, I'll be store champ by default.
Sure are.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
It's
Mr.
100
Perfect will show up with
it's-
something that will counter Fraud just to beat me.
Probably. All right.
With pennies and nickels and dimes.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
He'll beat me with pennies.
But he will claim. Hold on. We got to tease him about this because he did struggle this week. Those pennies, which are actually damage, will also turn from damage to amber or amber to damage. What was it this week that? No, we love you, Jason. It's fun. We get to
He
tease
has
on it,
Amber
man.
tokens now.
He does.
Yeah, no. It
only took
changed. It did impact. But
browbeating him on a show to get him to get some Ember tokens.
It did only impact Lokacar, so we're really fine with this anyway.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. All right. Summer special event. The summer special event is a special Keyforge happening. Activated by Ghost Galaxies each summer in participation with your LGS. The 2024 summer special event will be a storyline event that allows players to take an active role in shaping the story of the Crucible. This game has a story?
Yeah.
Oh. This will take the form of special event kit containing the fun and surprising materials required for players to make their mark on Keyforge history. More information about it in 2024 summer special event will be forthcoming this April.
I'm hoping for a lot on this. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I would now Sheep, when we had our Mech Warrior events where they're storyline events and they did impact like how I saw some of the story unfolding, I enjoyed that. So for me, this is something where I would love to see it impact a house. Here, bring a deck that has one of these two houses, but you can't have both. And I really do want to see something where it's tallied online, where we can see as the month goes on, which house is going to be in or which house is going to be out. I think we need to have that communicated ahead of time. But this could be a really neat event that basically spans the whole world and we can have an impact on what's happening. I think it'll be cool.
All right. Playstyles access. You can get Playstyle software. I don't know what this said. Keyforge worked in partnership with Playstyle Software not only to directly support official Keyforge tournaments, complete with deck and Vault Master integration, but have been working to support retail promotions and event scheduling within its retail and event locator tools. Coming soon. Later this year, we plan for both players and retailers to be able to create events and run tournaments directly in Playstyles. Where is the Playstyles holding the event locator?
Yes.
Why is it not in the Master Vault?
Because
this is where their tournament stuff is.
Okay, so
stores
if I'm
may not have Master Vault accounts.
If I'm
and because their future games will use Playstyle, but not the Master Vault. That's why.
Okay, but if I'm a new player, I'm a new player. How do I find out where these tournaments are being held?
Well, you would imagine there's going to be a link in the Master Vault that says find events here, and it just brings you to Playstyle.
You would think.
Pretty much.
Easy.
TBD.
Yes,
we'll decide
would
where
think, but who knows what we actually get.
I just wanted somebody to say it so it
it.
actually gets implemented. That's all I wanted.
I like the idea of a store locator, but how it's actually going to be rolled out, we don't know yet.
Okay. All right. 2024 Vault Tours. They will be happening. Large dedicated Keyforge events hosted in geographically distinct areas in the largest global blah, 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 blah. Something about merchandise. All right. The first Vault Tour will be in Roseville, Minnesota, April 5th through the 7th, 2024. Who booed?
Okay, Sheep's a little bit frustrated. You'll hear why, but it's good news that we have this now. In my opinion, this
Sheep's
statement
only frustrated because he can't go.
That is exactly it. But here's where I think this sheet right here with OP should have been what was released literally at Worlds. But you have the hype, you have the build up right here. We can know where Roseville is. You're right back in April 5th through 7th. Now look for more to come. Sheep, that would have saved you, because why can you not be there April 5th through 7th?
Because that's my kid's spring break, and we scheduled a vacation then.
Woo, vacation!
Because did you think that we would have a VT that early?
I did not think we would have a VT that early.
And did you think that it would be close by?
I'm like, I should not schedule something in April because of Vault Tours.
I mean, Minnesota wouldn't be that bad to change of plans.
No,
you know?
that's why it's
See the lakes.
extra salty, because it's my drivable Vault Tour, and now I don't get to go.
I'm sure there'll be another one in Minnesota. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, that turns out every vault is in Minnesota.
Don't worry. You're
Geographically diverse is going to be the front room, the back room, the side room.
They might
basement.
have one on the
silly room up top.
the wargaming tables, and then
That's almost as much stir as I saw from Josh going ahead and posting, "Hey, where's a large game shop down in this state in our Discord?"
Oh, you mean
And
Texas?
everyone jumping like, "Hey, we could hold you. We can hold this many tables." Like, I honestly do think that going ahead and using game stores that are larger, if you can partner, there are other games that have done it. It's a great choice versus investing in venues like Live did, where there's just a loss of money. Now, you will pay for some of it, but there's a huge advantage for the store, and it can be a nice partnership. So I would love to see it, but we'll have to see what Vault Tour is coming towards you guys.
Yeah,
Will there be one in Milwaukee?
Probably not. The
we can't all
so
live
this
in
weekend,
like global in geographical hubs like Drazcor.
That's right. Hell yeah. So
I don't know where Southerly lives.
I'm not gonna dox myself on air.
Yeah, he's somewhere. So the so I don't know that I can actually go to this April 5th through 7th because that
Are you kidding me?
No,
Well,
you're
it's-
back now too, man.
It's the eclipse. We are actually
It is.
have a hotel booked
To watch
the
the
family.
eclipse?
Yeah, man.
Are you in the actual line where
Yeah.
total eclipse
Well,
happened?
not in my house. That's why we're
No, that's why you're
driving.
going. Yes.
Yes. So we're actually going to Lake Champlain. We have we're going to be on the lake for the eclipse. It's probably going to be cold, but it's going to be really cool. So
I
Are you
guess
taking the kids?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, whole family.
I
Yeah.
guess
Are you going
it's
there to
just
see
me
Champ?
and JR.
I should. It's it's only an hour from Montreal, so it's pretty close.
So
But,
right now, going to Minnesota, it's me, JR, and John in local car.
I really want to go. I don't know if I can. I was trying to figure out. Well, what if I
No, just come.
what if it is a Friday sealed and then I leave on Saturday and fly to Albany and get picked up while my family is driving up? This sounds like a terrible idea.
All right, let's move forward. In 2023,
Sheep. Hold on. Please know that Mac Bunny did ask to go ahead and run Pink Fraud since you were out. So we have already put dibs on multiple people are expecting to be able
Fraud's
to
already been dibbed. No worries, guys.
see there you go. But Wookie, when you're going ahead and running forward, you missed. They get access to special Keyforge merchandise by these Vault Tours.
Yep.
Yeah. You also are we going to talk about the next paragraph?
I'm working on it. If we'd all be quiet.
All right.
Wait, who got dibs on fraud?
You did.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, did somebody get in before me? Those fuckers.
Thank you for your donation.
Yeah.
I was like,
Loading
who
it
got
out
in? Who
multiple
got in
times.
before I did? In 2023, Ghost Galaxies offered cash prizes to Vault Tour winners. However, this did not have the energizing effect required to warrant continuation, and feedback from Keyforge communities largely was that cash prizes did not feel meaningful or necessary. In 2024, Vault Tours and the
Stop there, because I know that this community, we've seen it go back and forth. I'm going to tell you, I could see a reduction in the money. I don't think the total amount needed to be what was there. No, but
it
listen.
need to be there. Okay,
No, it doesn't need to be there. But I'm still saying, seeing it completely gone and eliminated from your worlds, then that whoever wins worlds doesn't even have money. I think long term that is not good for our game.
They didn't say they'd never bring it back. Number one,
but they didn't say that they're there, and everyone's jumping in. Oh, they're going to use the money for marketing. Man, they haven't done anything with marketing. That's more money that is just gone.
Use the money so they don't
lose money.
go in the red.
Yeah.
That is what's
crazy story. But here's the thing. Originally, I said cash needed to be. I thought it was something that would drive people out, that would get players to the game. It did not. Just straight up, numbers did not increase at Vault Tour to Vault Tour just because cash was there. did not make more people come out.
So, I mean, many of us went to many. Did you meet a single person at a Vault Tour who was new to Keyforge, which I did, that also said, I'm here because there's cash prizes?
No.
Even like there are like 1 or 2 people that I kind of know of that got into Keyforge after Vault Warrior was announced, but never happened
Came to fruition. Yeah.
But they're not really around anymore.
I will say that there was a core group of us that made multiple vaults. And I think that the elimination of cash prizes really cuts down on individuals being able to do that. To come out for a box, I'm sorry, and we don't even know what the
We
prizes
don't know
are
what it is yet because therefore in 20
only because they put it in the first place. The only reason they can't get rid of it, or it's hard to get rid of it, they did get rid of it, is because they put it in. If they had never put it in the first place, nobody'd be like.
But what I'm saying, Draz, is that you would not have had the same amount of. They tried to do it to attract people. But what it did is it brought a group of individuals out to multiple vaults. I think
that why they went?
I think that it is.
I think
is a portion.
is he wouldn't have come as many if there wasn't.
I'm
cash.
telling you,
that's what he's saying.
Really?
I'm telling you, yes, I would not have been able to go to as many without the cash that was there. And I think that you're going to see that it's going to turn into some more localized vaults, which I'm perfectly fine with. Keyforge will do very, very well with that. But I'm telling you, I don't think we're going to see as many individuals going ahead and traveling. Prove me wrong. This is great for the community. But I'm telling you, I think
see a 10% reduction.
I think that I'm talking about that core group that went to multiple vaults.
Right.
You're unincentivized to be able to go.
And a lot of them aren't going to be going to much this year.
So I can go ahead and talk.
People?
But it was more than Team SAS too. You saw a number of individuals from 2 of your more competitive groups that are just is not necessarily there. I will leave it at that. But I think the cash prizes did help people to go ahead and say, hey, I'll invest in this game. I'll go ahead and acquire this deck. And that could be really good for us. But I'm telling you right now, I can say I will not be going to as many because I just don't see anything pay out unless the deck. Okay. And you can read the next, what they're looking at instead.
Are you sure?
Sure. And then I can talk about that.
Therefore, the 2024 Vault Tour and the 2024 World Championship will not feature cash prizes. Instead, alternate prizes and honors are planned that we hope will bring smiles to players' faces.
But again, the lack of here's actually what's happening hurts.
8x10s.
But
it's probably because they haven't figured that out yet. They haven't quite hammered out like what they're going to give out yet.
It's
January
January 18th. That's where the problem is. Like all of this we know takes time, and cash prizing was a little bit easier in that there was something that was there. Here I can send this out, and it did help when you were going ahead and pulling back some of the cost for these vaults. Attending a vault is not just here's a cheap piece. There are some, like for us, Minnesota was cheaper because we could drive to it. But when I came out to Philly, even with staying over with Draz, there was additional fees that went into that trip. I charged
them for the Uber ride to and from my house,
No, but we need some of the prizing to be meaningful. We've talked about Fab, that if you can go to a Fab event and then turn around and take some of that prizes and it can curb some of the cost. I enjoy hanging out with our Keyforge community.
Well, and maybe
there's a lot of joy there, but if it's just all pure joy,
I think
we're not full of money.
Nick, Draz, and I are just not on that side of the thing because we don't sell the crap we win. We also don't particularly care if we win or not. Like, it's the experience, the event. That's what we're paying to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So you're willing to pay for again, this is why I say it's going to be more of a local thing.
I went to damn near every
for
vault I could in the 2019 season when you didn't win anything.
And we also saw you show up in the middle of a snowstorm. Like, there's some fanaticism that's here. It doesn't make it that it is true.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean
competent
everybody's on
choices.
your side where
No,
they're
I'm
only
not
going to
saying
come
that.
out because there's money and prizes.
I'm not, but I'm saying that I do think, because a number of people voice, oh, it's not going to be that many.
Yeah, and there's a number of people who voice that the people who come out because of the money and the amount they're investing to play and the qualities and the things doesn't make for a better event either. Like, they're all valid to some extent.
And this
I mean,
is
I think
why
at
we
the end of the day,
present
right?
it.
The main point that you guys had talking last year about the vaults when they announced only cash prizing was that like, hey, I mean, a majority of the people that attend aren't walking away with cool things to remember this by, or maybe that they'll want to save.
A lot of people were bothered by.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need the
Right,
majority of
right.
people to walk away with something.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You walked away with 3 decks this year. No?
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of happy cash prizing is gone. I think
Yeah,
it was an expense that
I am
they
too.
didn't need to put out there. Was it nice? Sure. Did it need
yeah,
to happen? No.
yeah.
Like, sure would have been nice to win some of that money.
I'm
It
sure would've been.
helps. It helps to be able to curb when you're coming out on the longer trap. I'm just gonna say.
I mean, yeah, if you're in that level of money where that is part of the thing, which there are plenty of people that does affect. But it's not everybody. Again, it's a number and an amount that you can't define. Or it's
No,
not
but
easy
again,
to
this-
define. What number is it that makes it so people can actually come out and go? And the fact that is at the good events, only 8 out of the 100 people showing up are actually doing anything, which means if you're planning to get that, you're either full of yourself or your Z or your Nova.
it's not a matter of planning for it. I'm telling you, it helps alleviate the cost and the expense for that.
But
weekend.
only
It's
if you actually win anything.
But the
Right.
top 8, again, you had options. I think
No,
it should have
top
extended.
four.
No,
Top
again,
four.
I
I didn't get anything.
I
from my
think the
eights.
top 8 should have had it if you let me finish. Top 4 is where it paid out. But top 4 basically paid for your trip unless you were going an exorbitant distance. It was very, very, very close to being able to break even.
I mean, your expected value is not super high,
Zero?
right? So I mean, it's probabilistic. So your expected value is more than 0 when there was payout, but your expected value was nowhere near the cost of the travel. So now there's the psychological, oh, but I could pay for this, but really you had to be able to pay for it to go. Like if you were counting on
No one's counting on
Getting
it. This
that
is an
money.
this is an after effect of,
right.
hey, I did well, I had a great
Right.
weekend, and this helped. But it's not. It's not a
Well, it's all
matter of
psychological.
anyone's counting on it. Correct.
then-
So it's
It-
only
it- it's a bonus
prizes-
afterwards.
Cash prizes replace the need for Ascension because the fact that I'm not winning money, but I've already spent all my money going means I can't go to more events, so I've been ascended out anyways.
This
And
is
the
why
expected
I'm,
value,
This is why
like,
I'm
as
saying I
Drescore is
think the
saying-
VTs will be closer to being more localized than what you saw in the past year, which can be a good thing for Keyforge.
But that's not what even happened in 19 when there wasn't prizes.
I'm telling you, you saw a lot of the same people going ahead and placing high in both 19 and here.
Yeah,
Southerly,
so I
give-
don't know why you think it's going to change that much.
Right. Southerly, give us the maths. You were going to give us the maths. Give us the maths.
I was gonna give you the math. So
Do
like,
it.
let-
Do it.
saying every game's a coin flip, right? If you go in and you have a 50-person tournament, maybe split between Archon or 50-person Archon, 50-person Alliance, because there's a 10,000 pool. Say you play in both, like it happened at that one vault. Your expected value is only $200. If I did the math right, which expected value is pretty easy.
if you play in both, right? But you can't play in both,
Yeah.
right?
Can't.
So
Well,
so
you
it's
could in
half of
that one event.
Well, I
It
made the
can't-
math
it can't
easier.
be that high. It's got to be lower than that.
No,
How
it's
can
$200 for 50-person playing in both events. 10,000
If-
prize pool.
So yeah, so if you cut it in,
So you're
half,
only
and it's
expecting to make
$5,000.
$200 by going to there. So if your travel is more than $200, the expected value is not there.
which means anything more than local.
I'm actually
was
surprised it's
already
even that
bad.
high, but that's why you're doing the maths. So right, Right. I mean, $200. That's one night at the hotel. Now, if you split that and you get Chainsaw Wookiee with you, then you're going to spend a lot less. But
Draz,
then
I'm
you're
looking
with
for you to
Chainsaw
be my
Wookiee.
cuddle buddy this year.
Woo!
But I think this is where it really comes down to. In the AC live show, you can see if the swag is good enough. We're seeing the swag has to
give me the
be
swag.
there. And I do agree that going ahead and offering the swag to everyone who can potentially keep it or sell it gives other options. But we have too many options.
See, but here's
right
the funny
now,
thing. When it
right
comes
now,
to
if you get just a box, and that box is not worth your time. I'm sorry, but an $80 box, I cannot go ahead and resell.
That's not
I can't.
$80.
There were multiple boxes that we could get for WoW sitting
Yes,
at
there were.
$80 this year. So when
That
we
was
say
very
it's
brief.
not, it was very brief. But even $100, that $100 is not going to go ahead and turn around that you're making another $100.
I don't. When did you become a person who only plays games because there's prizes?
I'm not, but I'm telling you, Sheep, you've never been about prize, but there are people who come out and it incentivizes.
But you're just arguing
listen.
for people that you think want prizes. Which
I'm not thinking.
X-ray.
We want to be able to increase what the prizes are. And unfortunately, GG's run last year proved that is an area that needs to be increased drastically. And I believe they will.
Hopefully they do that.
on the prize wall, baby.
The biggest thing I'm seeing here right now is EU players being all pissy because we don't know if they're. Did they say anything about travel vouchers for first place?
No, they have
I
said
do not
nothing
remember
about
that.
nothing.
That's kind of
and
what
the
I
other-
don't remember seeing anything.
The other big takeaway was what you just said. Last year, I qualified going second for Worlds. Right now, it is simply listed as first. And that is a huge,
That is a really big change.
that is a massive
That's
change. And I
interesting.
cannot stress that enough because the finals was a pretty chill, relaxed event of, hey, we both qualify. We're going to Worlds. Like, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. But now there's so many things that can go wrong just to get into the top 8, let alone into the top 4 or top 2. But now you have to just be that one person. I don't like that change.
Let's look at those numbers quick though. So say they want to run 32 player events again next year, right? And now there's going to be 3 of them, so it's 96 players that they have to sit, right? Unless there is double the number of events that have qualifiers this year as last year, there will be less people available to fill these, which means there would be, instead of having to be top 20 in the last chance qualifier, you're going to be like top 55 would be getting seats or something silly like that, unless they double the number of qualifying events.
Which is why I don't go to any of the vaults, save my money, and just go to Minnesota for the last chance qualifier. That's
or
a
just at every
really,
store.
really.
But again,
That's shoddy.
this is a thing where you're devaluing the experience of the vault, that going and playing in a vault has no value outside of getting the prize.
No,
that's
but
how
it
you
needs,
keep presenting it.
it needs to be it needs to go ahead and be raised, Dan. It has to be a balance where right now, going ahead and putting too many people in our last chance qualifier actually devalues the vaults. And so it's a really happy medium that we have to find.
I'm not arguing that by any means. Like I'm with you. Like the value of the vaults needs to be more than just bragging rights that I run a vault. I'm with them where I don't. Although I would have never been sad to win cash, I would have not been that excited because it just goes back into this not pointless, but this, for me, and I know I'm not everybody else, but it just goes back into the bucket of monies that I can spend. And it's not like 3 months later, I don't go like, look at my this. Nope. It's still just, it just goes back into the nebulous bucket of money. Because
all I gotta say is there better be championship belts. We're at an hour. We need to keep pushing forward. National championships, they're gonna happen. Keyforge National Championships for US will be at Gen Con in early August, as it was last year. National Championships will take place between August 1st and September 30th. And then obviously they're going to have more information on National Championships coming in March. World Championships will be November 7th through the 10th in Shocker, Roseville, Minnesota. Let's see how to get in. World Championship invites are earned by winning 2024 National Championships or Vault Tours. Those players who won the 2023 Open or Archon or Alliance World Championships are invited with their respective formats to the 2024 World Championships. So, okay. Those players who won the 2023 Archon or Alliance Open are invited. Finally, last chance qualifiers will be held. In 2023, this is the same thing, right? Instead non-cash, but still wonderful. Prizes and honors will be bestowed upon World Championships finalists in 2024.
I mean, if they are wonderful, I
Wonderful.
think people will start to forget about the cash.
They got to be pretty good, though. They do have to be pretty good. I agree with you, Walk. The prizes need to be pretty good. Like, you can't just be like, here's your chain tracker.
They can do it.
Custom GG jerseys.
That is pretty wonderful.
I mean,
like 2021 chain tracker.
Janet's favorite on mine.
Maybe Janet. Maybe it's a signed Janet jersey.
The mythical 21 and 22 prizing that never existed.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yep. We kind of already really went into store championships, so we could probably dig further into that another day. So tell your store to order tell your store to order store championship stuff. And Dan has already said the artwork looks weird. Yeah.
Wait, what artwork?
Maybe
for
maybe
Store
there is a
Championship?
Keyforge cartoon coming, and that's just a clip from it.
Maybe.
That's not true, but
The
I'm going to go
article
with
for
that over that
Keyforge
going
Store
to be the
Championships.
art on one of my cards.
All right. New restricted list has popped out.
Nah. You got more than enough for another day, man.
You think so? You wanna cut it here?
Yeah, we
right.
can save restricted list.
So
Yeah, that's a whole
one
thing.
thing I will say, new restricted list has popped up. Make sure you check it out. Notable entries, or the new entries, I guess, are Befuddled, Chronos, FOF Transponder, Halifax, and Furnace and Legionary Trainer. Not going to dig too much into that. What else do we have? New tournament guidelines and rules have popped up, so we'll go into that another day. Finally, Winds of Exchange. Do we cover? I feel like we've covered Wind of Exchanges sold. Like, GG has no more.
I already said it.
So Dan has your $300 boxes of Winds of Exchange because Grim Reminders is going to be a dud set. There, I
I
said
don't know
it.
about that either.
It's going to be a dud. It's in blue packaging.
Hot take, Wookie. Hot take.
Hot take.
No,
Controversial
it's
take.
gonna.
It's in blue
not gonna be a dud.
packaging. Dud. Yeah,
No.
you want to know what else people
Wookiee's never been wrong, so you're fine. Grim
Yep.
Reminders
Yeah.
is great.
Yep, that's right. So I'm just saying, like, dud. I get the feeling it's gonna just all be Genka decks, but instead of Genka, it's gonna be Boo and what's the key cheat?
Spooge key.
Spooge.
Oh yeah,
That's-
good times.
Wait, is that really what it was called?
Yep.
Yep.
Spooky
No.
Spooky. No.
No.
Yeah.
or the
Spooge.
ecto charge.
Well, it's now and forever. Yeah, it's Ecto Charge, isn't it? It's now and forever called Spooge Key.
So by the way, the fact that Winds of Exchange sold out, so it is good news. I think it's good news. Well, in some ways, it's like, yay, they sold, right? But I think it is a little bit more of their model can be effective, which is in some ways that's like the best news.
Well,
I think.
Easy.
This
Crusher.
is
Because
this is also
they're-
only true if Winds of Exchange isn't buried next to the ET cartridges.
Well, that's true, right? So we're trusting that this isn't spin, but they
Which
have the
I
ability to
think is
print. Yeah, so this is a print on demand, sort of like it's their Artiforge, so they can print segments, chunks, right? And they can much more carefully control this printing process. It probably is more expensive for them to print there than it is to print it in China and ship it over on a boat. They get stuck in the Suez Canal, but they can control it much more, so you don't have unsold decks filling up shelves. And so this, I think, is saying, hey, they can control their costs and just print at the level at which they can at least sell to distributors. And so now their only problem is all the AOA out there, which is why Martian Generosity is still here. But we'll talk about that another time.
I just want to say it's
Go ahead.
time for you guys to all pay up. At the end of last episode, I said I'm putting money down that we're not going to talk about Grim Reminder's cards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is true.
Well,
I mean, we all knew you were right.
Hold on, Southerly. Hold on.
What?
Let's dig a little deeper into that. What episode?
No, that's true.
He didn't
That's
post
true.
it
Rookie did not post it.
because I went ahead and had a beautiful
There are
like,
witnesses in chat.
welcome
Wookie.
and hey, shout out to my brother who's getting into Keyforge. And yep, that
they
was
didn't
lost. All
see-
gone, man.
They didn't see nothing.
That's right. Well, I guess
Hopefully-
after we
hopefully
were
they'll
like,
actually
where's the
hear
OP
this
news?
episode,
And then the
though.
next day, the OP news came.
Actually,
so I guess,
you
yeah,
want to
we
know
couldn't
who
really publicize it.
who we do all owe money to?
Who's that?
You,
Me still.
Drascore.
Probably.
Now-
Yes, of course. Why?
However, Drascore went a little too deep with his predictions.
Did I?
I believe you said we would be talking about it on the 18th.
Oh yeah,
Of
I did. I
January.
did say that. And
Now,
I
how-
said Josh was going to announce it here.
Now,
That's what I
however,
said.
it was released on the 12th.
Well, you know,
So if Bob Barker rules
took our
are
time.
in effect, you are over. But, you know, we record on Thursdays.
yeah.
So why do we owe Josh money?
I mean, because we need Grim Reminders decks.
Did he buy me a drink last time we were out there? Or
Probably.
Maybe I do owe him money. I don't know.
Well,
possible.
Draz, when you're talking about the amount of decks that have been printed, have you guys looked at how many decks for Winds of Exchange have been scanned, or what? would we
That's
have
what
looked
I
at?
wanted to know. How
It was a
many
90 or
wins-
91,000
yeah.
Okay.
about there.
Now,
Because like being sold out, it's like, well, if I make 10 and I sell all 10 and I'm like, woohoo, sold out. Like, is that a great, you know what I mean? Is that a
Well,
really great
so
card?
like I said, no, it's not. It's. I think it's because their model is potentially working, that they can print the amount they need, and then that's it, right? So that allows them to
Yeah,
control
but
their costs much more, and
But
that's
my
really
question happens now. Okay, so now I'm a new player and I want to get some Winds of Exchange. Now I just pay an exorbitant amount of like that is like gonna stop people from possibly opening decks.
good.
No, because
Well,
Reminders
so
is coming out.
Right.
Right.
But like, okay, but here's the deal, right? We've seen bad sets, right? Remember DT? Remember how
Yes.
bad that was?
DT worst set,
DT worst set, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a flop of a set, I forgot where the hell I was going with this.
I don't know. You just print more of the previous one, then,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I
but
just
is,
think-
is
I
that,
just
is
think
that
it's-
possible though? Like, can they just be like, all right, we're just gonna go back and print a whole bunch of this? Like, if you have
Yeah.
a flop of
It-
a set and you need to go and like, so I'm a new player, and so what? My option basically, let's just theoretically, right? I remembered my point. Theoretically, for a new player, just stroll with me down this thought path, and my only option right now is to buy Grim Reminders, but Grim Reminders is trash.
Whoa, you can still get Coda and MM at retail
AOA.
price.
Yeah.
Wow.
AOA much below retail.
Right. But we live in a world where my options are WoW and DT or Grim Reminders.
and that is, I mean, for Sealed, they did go ahead and post that. You'll be choosing from the latest two sets, giving some exceptions, you know, if the newest set isn't available to kind of go back to the previous sets.
I'm just saying that they need to be like your sets now have to be bangers, all of them, because
I
for
don't
a
know.
new,
I don't
for
agree
a
about
new
that.
I
player,
disagree.
for
Yeah,
a
I
new
disagree
player
with that.
coming, oh, really? For a new player coming into
mean,
the
it should-
community,
Should be.
and
If
you
you're doing
hand
sealed
them
events at the
and
local
you hand
level,
them a DT. Yeah, but no, but they. I mean, they have aspirations of going places, right? And they want to be really
Sure.
good, right?
Yeah.
But my options of opening decks are DT. It's only allowing them pretty much one set, unless scalpers like sheep.
Right. So they have to do a better job, right? To they did well with WoW, and I think it seems to me that Grim Reminders will be good. I don't know that it's better than WoW, but it seems to me like it's going to be worth playing. Now, is it so I don't think it's going to be as bad as DT or AOA. Now, will it be as good as those others? I don't know, but we'll see.
Nobody knows.
Time will tell.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the problem now, the problem I see with this happening is I can't just go back a set and buy some stuff. I mean, I can, hopefully, but like, can I just go buy some WoW?
It's
better
not
for
anything's going to be
them.
available. This is for sealed, and sealed it locks them.
Well, no,
in. They're
this
the
is for
company.
anything. Like, I want to go buy an Archon deck, and I'm going to just open a bunch of product, but my only option is Grim Reminders.
You can-
Yeah.
I don't think that's terrible.
Everybody,
find stuff. I don't know.
That's not
everybody,
terrible.
I see this all over. Everybody, Grim Reminders is so busted. It's better than WoW.
I don't know about that.
You know how many people said that about AOA, that it was, it's going to be better than Coda, and then it just...
So
Did they?
to give us some numbers, I'm going to give a shout out to
yes.
Archon Arcana. Right now we have just under 3.2 mil. Okay, decks, total decks that have been registered. Out of that, you have 1.3 roughly for Call of the Archons. The next highest set is Age of Ascension, coming in at roughly 700,000. So you have to realize that Coda is almost double of what. AOA is almost. Coda is almost double of what AOA is, and so we've just been tapering back, and you've seen that. When you see the low numbers,
not. AOA still has barely scratched the surface. I think AOA got its first Vault Tour top 8 appearances this year.
What I am saying is the total amount of decks. If you look at, I mean, honestly, for the last Vault, WoW went ahead and dominated pretty consistently. And considering how many decks have been opened versus what's there, I think that GG has done a great job to make WoW competitive. When you go ahead and look at Worlds Collide, they're showing that it's roughly upper 500s, 500,000. Going ahead and looking at your mass mutations, you're going ahead and looking at 400,000. Going ahead and look at Dark Tidings, you got 200,000. And Winds of Exchange, as he said, was 91,000 roughly. Like, to see that you have multiple top 8s that are coming from Winds of Exchange and were placing very, very high, and it could be open and they were competitive against, frankly, 1.3 million decks. Like, there's some real say that new players, I think, are perfectly fine.
For now.
But it's a different model. Like, the idea of we're going to go out and print, man, they're not printing nearly as much. Picture if there was 1.3 million decks of WoW, what you would be seeing. And that could go for any of the other sets. I think those days are long past, but I like the model that they're using. I think it's interesting. And I do think that Wookiee for you, they have to put a little bit of fire in these new sets. But I think we're going to see what's there. They're just going to play differently. It's interesting when everything is evergreen. For Archon, and I say that
For now.
But right now, is there anything that
they'll be so distracted by the ban list for Alliance? Maybe we'll actually get to keep Archon. Who knows?
Never.
Do you feel that it was that broken this year? We saw representation from a number of sets. I'm not going to say all, but a number.
Well, no, you didn't.
I felt good about what was going on.
You saw 0 DT.
Yeah, no DT. You're right.
No
Very
DT,
little.
but
except for that
look
one
at how
kid
many
that
people
spanked Southerly. Or what?
Dress.
Oh, the 9-year-old.
Oh, and Draskor. I forgot about Draskor.
Yeah, the 9-year-old. Yep, it's crafty little kid. Yeah,
I think it's interesting if you look at the numbers, and it does show. I don't know. It's interesting.
It is interesting. But with that being said, we've gone far enough. Join us next week where we talk about banned and restricted, most likely. Actually, nothing's banned. It's just all restricted. And I don't know. Are they? You can join me and Ewok. Maybe we're gonna do a thing. We're probably gonna do a thing on a video. Or we are headed to the 1K Lorcana invitational. I added that last
What?
part to make it sound better.
What?
Yeah,
what are we
it's-
talking? What?
Yeah,
Get outta here.
So maybe Mr. Ewok and I do a fun episode about Lorcana, our
No.
experience.
No.
We might have a video.
Crushing
Ugh.
kids in a tournament.
Ugh.
You never know. $1,000 up for grabs
Actually, there's 5K across the weekend.
across the weekend.
But I will say, Josh, so I stepped in. You did a really nice job. I appreciate being able to see this outline, and it's a step in the right direction. We want to see, a few more details, but I like the general outline. It
We
helps
need
me.
articles to create content.
I'm not necessarily
We got a
need
lot this
articles.
time, so-
So
I'm
you're going to
just
need
saying-
to write one a week,
I mean,
sir.
well, we still haven't gone through the Grim Reminders
I
cards.
know. Yeah, we haven't. It's been a long time.
We get too busy arguing with ourselves.
That's right. And next week, we got to go through the Alliance restricted list. I don't think there's any major changes besides for the ones that we already talked about for the tournament rules and guidelines. So,
Hey, I'm simply saying, Mr. Josh, if you want to come in and tell us more about these upcoming vaults,
He
spoil
doesn't.
it
Yeah.
here.
He
We will
doesn't.
go ahead and gladly invite you in to say, hey, here's the key dates. It would be wonderful to go ahead and have that, because then it allows people to block off those dates. I still have the open invitation to CTP to be able to talk about some of our questions that we have as well. But I always
he
enjoy
doesn't
being able to hear.
listen to this show.
Nope, but I'm hopeful that one day he will, and he'll come on.
On a level of like grumpness, from like 0, like you first started out with Kodo or whatever, or 10 being like your most grumpy you've been. What's the current grump scale
What's
that we're at?
the grump level at
For
right
what?
now?
Yeah. I'm trying to get a gauge.
Grump level for what? Why are we grumpy at all?
Well, that's what I mean. You're always grumpy.
Why?
The sheep is, but
Well,
Yeah, I'm not grumpy. I'm glad we got some. I'm glad we got some info. I'm disappointed that I just realized that I possibly have an alliance deck that might work in 2024. And it's missing a card. So now I gotta go find that. It's here somewhere, I hope.
for not being grumpy at all, there was a lot of complaining.
yeah.
Well,
No,
it's
this
not,
is a lot of
it's
good
not
stuff.
complaining. It's called It's called. Are y'all ready for
Well,
this?
show content.
Constructive criticism. These things exist, right? Like,
Yes.
it's not complaining. These are the things
Right,
we
right.
need to know to move to the future. Constructive criticism. It's the word for 2024. And next week, I will have an agency button on standby to play me screaming agency into the microphone every time that word is in our card.
Oh,
It's like
You
the-
say
nice.
agency. I mean, the big takeaway from me is that the pricing has to be significantly better than what we
Yeah.
saw, especially with the removal
Josh
of the
is going to
cash
give
pricing.
all the top fours high fives.
I don't know. No, I'm telling you, if you are not giving pricing to the top 8, that's a problem. And there needs to be something. There needs to be something that everyone is walking away with. I come to a VT. I'm spending time and money. Give me a little
You are
trinket. I know that you
are
don't like
leaving
that, but
with
that's
an
there.
experience, sir. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm overtired at this point. It's 10 o'clock. Sheep's checked out. I don't even know what he's doing.
Yeah, we want to hear Sheep's grump level.
He's
This is where
probably
he's at.
playing Mech Warrior right now online.
Nah, I'm playing Keyforge.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Where's
got-
your grump level there, Sheep?
Don't have that much grump. I just.
You heard it
also-
here. You heard it here first. Not that much grump.
Not that much.
You
That's
heard it
pretty
here
good. That's
first.
the best it's
Yeah.
been in a long
Sheep
time.
is pleasantly
Yeah.
content with the level of Keyforge information that is out right now. You need to release no more. He's good.
No,
well,
no.
we
no,
also
no.
did just
We
get the
gotta
shipping
keep this
notification that
momentum.
it's delivering tomorrow, so that does factor in.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could also be just that it is pretty much meeting expectation.
All right. Well, meeting expectations
is base
is better
level.
than missing expectations.
It's like minimum requirement when you meet with your manager. Like,
Except when
so
you
you're
realize
not
you guys
fired,
call
but no
me
bonus.
A grump for a reason.
He is an S1 on his yearly review.
Yeah, Sheep also went ahead and received an email that he is getting grim reminders, and that should be here
Tomorrow.
tomorrow again.
Tomorrow.
So
They're
he's
trying to
happy.
get somebody to buy this pledge forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirkman, the whole idea for its alliance doesn't mean it's constructive criticism. No, but we can't go ahead and just change it to sealed, unified sealed, and changing a name does not equate to
Sure it does.
appeasing everyone there. We wanted sealed. Alliance sealed is perfectly fine, but
I'm happy that we got
it's not the
something.
same as sealed.
It's not the
Okay.
same, but I'm happy we got something. We got to take baby steps sometimes. I hope the rumor isn't true that it's going to end up on a Friday, because then it's a self-fulfilled prophecy for them to be like, oh, you guys said you wanted sealed back and sealed wasn't very well attended. Well, you put it on a Friday when everybody's coming into town. Like, I hope that's not the case, and I'm gonna put on my positive energy cap right now.
Well, and I can say,
hope
I
that's
guess
the thing.
one of the things about that is what time, now that we have sealed, which is, again, sealed was more casual on Friday, but what time are we planning on running sealed? That information there alone would be helpful to be able to know. For me, I will argue that for Alliance, while it's not my shindig, if it brings in some people, great. I still think that having multiple formats splits our community, and that's not good for us. It also, Alliance was not Alliance. Sealed Alliance is fine. Alliance as a entity, even me playing at the Vault Tours, it is not what I had signed up for,
And are we able
what I
to
saw
get
for
some
Keyforge.
information on the April 5th to the 7th Vault Tour? Like, what exactly am I looking at here?
Yeah. How much more upset am I going to be or not?
Right. Like, is it going to be Archon and Alliance? Well, maybe I don't go.
I
Is it
think
gonna
it's
be
3 formats, right?
is it
They said
gonna-
that. They didn't give the details, but it's gonna be Sealed Alliance, it's gonna be Alliance, and it's gonna be Archon. Now, how they order that, if they try to run all simultaneous, like, we don't know, but it's gonna be those 3 things.
Do we know this?
I'm
Was
fairly
100%
certain that
going to
that
be
was
all 3?
Highly suspected, but it
Yeah.
has not been published as such.
I didn't
Yeah.
think so.
the highly
As
suspected.
far as I
that
know,
I
is
had
we know
seen was
nothing
Friday
about
for
Alliance.
sealed. Yes, Alliance.
As
and
far as
Archon
I
and
know,
Pathfinder.
nothing has been really. We know nothing about how the 2024 Vault Tours are going to be run. It could just be, hey, we're going to do sealed, and that's it. It could be one for all we know. You don't know. You don't know.
I mean, if you look at that, so let's go back to the Rise of Sealed article, aka the Death of True Sealed. But let's look at the Rise of Sealed article.
Okay.
So what it says. Let's see.
It says things.
Yes, we
Yep.
know that all will hold all 3. That is
Yeah.
about it.
Where does it
Yeah.
say that?
Let's see. So it said in here, what did it say? Okay, okay. Sealed deck play will feature prominently at all levels of main tournament events throughout the season. So, I'm assuming that wording is intending that, hey, all the Vault Tours are going to include it.
Where Sunday?
Um,
Where has he confirmed that this is going to be? I haven't seen it. Now, sometimes I come in and I have 96 new messages on Discord and I can't read them all. But I haven't seen any Josh, can you confirm that every Vault Tour will have? He's right there. If he's confirmed it in our Discord, he can confirm it right now.
Josh would like to raise his hand and speak.
No,
He can give us some official news.
but I haven't seen any.
He's
of this.
smarter than that.
Yes, he
Like,
is.
the only thing I've seen is that it's being added to the official.
He might raise a middle finger to us right now.
Or
I
2.
appreciate your donation.
That's 3.
Middle fingers are not donation worthy. This is is audio only podcast. All right, let's take a look at this.
Hey, can tell you every VT will feature sealed though. There you go. So it could be sealed in Archon and it could be sealed in Alliance.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
Ooh, now we're talking.
It does not confirm that all 3. It just confirms sealed. Can't say anything about dates or when news drops. Can tell you every Vault Tour will feature sealed though. So every Vault Tour will have sealed. But
And like releasing
every
it on a Discord is just not a place to do that kind of information release.
That's
So my reading, and I'm not going to reread it all out loud like Wookiee is, right? But my reading was that, hey, it's going to be, all right, it's going to be the 3.
And every Vault Tour is going to have sealed Archon. Your choice to play it, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
they've all had sealed Archon.
You have?
You just haven't had the guts to do it.
Yeah, there you go. This is on you.
Or the
Actually,
Oh, you know,
stupidity.
well, Lokakar's probably the one person who's like, I've done it, you fools. I'm bad enough.
He did show up to an Archon, I think, open an AOA deck.
he did.
yeah. He
That
did
was
that,
now it
Kansas
was
City.
it was Kansas City, so it wasn't an official event, but there were prizes,
Yeah,
and
there was cash there.
He won
and there
none
were
of it.
people flying in. I flew in, right? And and I'm now banned from Airbnb, but but I was there.
That's all right. It's probably better nowadays.
Yeah.
And
All right. With that being
yes.
said, let's wrap this up. We're at an hour and a half, 90 minutes. We love you all.
finally, the quality content level.
Yeah.
Now we can sign off.
It's time to go home. It's time to go to bed. I have
Thank
to
you,
get
Dad.
my beauty rest for Lorcana.
Oh gosh.
You want
You do need to post your dress up in princess pictures.
I absolutely will.
Those can even come in the Keyforge chat. We will
I will
accept them.
I will absolutely send you pictures of me in my princess dress. I'm glad that's all
Can't
you think,
wait.
that everyone goes to these dressed up as a Disney
I
princess.
mean, if
This
you want
is
to buy me
humorous
a
to me.
princess dress to wear, I might go then.
You know,
Aisawa, we have Saturday and Sunday for Lorcana, so Friday's not the choice that we have to worry about.
to be honest with you, I might take you up on that cheap. But with that being said, we'll see y'all next week.
Happy Fortune, everyone.
May the Forge be with you.
Mm.
I'd love to see you around, little bro. We missed it last time because Wookiee cut it, but come play some Keyforge.
It might make the cut.
I write my own lyrics and I make my own beats, yeah, and I tell you that's peace. I don't ever go to work, I just go and take a seat. Then write another hook in my MacBook. Then write another hook in my MacBook. But I could do work now. Let me interrupt. See me round the green like a diamond in the rough. See me on a roll like the wheels on the bus. And don't worry about my name, you gon' know it soon enough. B. Rogers, yeah, really no bluff. Baby, little young kid, I am growing up. And I'm never slowing up, but I'm never in a rush. So I'm always taking time when they tell me hurry up. Like, chill, son, like 5 more minutes. I gotta find the right place to rest my